Good morning everyone. Myself Kausar Momin, 9th standard, subject Science, chapter number 3, Electricity. In this chapter we are going to discuss about potential and potential difference, conductors and insulators, bad conductors, electrical resistance and Ohm's law, connection of resistors and effective resistance. Today we are going to discuss about potential and potential difference. You must have seen a waterfall. Which way does the water flow? Obviously, as we know, higher to lower. So for electricity generation, water is released from dam at a higher level because of gravity. It falls to lower level. Thus, as we know, the direction of flow of water between 2 points depends on the level of the 2 points. The same thing is happening with the current electricity also. It flows from higher electricity to lower electricity. So in that we are going to discuss about their potential and potential difference. So today's our topic is potential and potential difference. The part which is like higher level to lower level, that part comes in this potential and potential difference. Here is one experiment which we don't need to do because as per 25% reduced syllabus, so this comes in that. So don't do this activity or experiment, you can say. We will go ahead with the another one. We have to see potential and potential difference. This is the part which comes in potential and its potential difference. This is just an example. We have to consider this example. Suppose here we are considering two beaker. One is filled with water and other one is having also water, and one pipe is connected between them, and another beaker is at a specific height and the beaker number 1 is at the ground. So whenever the flow of water is there, that comes in higher to lower. So the same thing is coming with the potential, or we can say it as electricity level. So we can say it as height difference. What difference is there? Height difference. So here if we're gonna discuss about potential difference, before to understand this potential difference, first we will consider the potential. What is the meaning of potential? It comes in potential energy. What is the meaning of potential energy? That is stored energy. Consider one example. A ball is in your hand. What kind of energy is there with the ball? Yes, of course, it is potential energy. When you drop the ball, the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Kinetic energy means when an object has a motion, that converts into kinetic energy. Similarly, we can say the concept for electric potential energy. Electric potential energy means how much energy charge stored in this specific object. If we consider a ball, then that ball when at one place, so it has high potential energy. When it is going down, then it is attracted toward the positive charges, which comes in low potential energy. So we can say that the difference between the values of potential at 2 points A and B, here in this diagram we are considering 2 points. One is at positive and one is with the negative, high electric potential and low electric potential. So the difference between the values of potentials at 2 points is called potential difference between them. So here in this diagram you can see one is stand with insulating covering and stand with insulating covering. One has a positive charge and one has negative charge. So whatever the difference we are getting, that we are saying as its potential difference. In the figure, conductor A is higher potential than the conductor B. When these two are connected a conducting wire, the potential difference is created between its two ends and electrons will flow from point B to A through the wire. This flow will continue until the two conductors A, B have the same potential, that is until their potential difference becomes 0. As we have seen the example for water, two containers were there, so the flow of water one from one to another. So the same thing is happening over here also. Charges are flowing, only then will flow the electrons stop. When? Because their level becomes equal. Obviously we can say charges are flowing through this wire means some work is done. So work has to be done against the electric field to take a positive charge from a point of lower potential to a higher potential. That positive charge is flowing from lower potential to a higher potential. So we can say work has been done. So here we are having an explanation for potential difference of a cell. The difference in a potential between the positive and negative terminals of a cell is the potential difference of that cell. Obviously we have seen wire, there is a positive connector and negative connector. From negative, this obviously flow of charges from positive to negative. So this is the direction of current when these charges are flowing from this point to this point. So suppose this is point A and this is point B. So whatever the difference we are getting, that difference we are seeing it as potential difference of that cell. If this is a cell, means whatever battery we are considering, that battery has the potential difference. Okay. So this potential difference is caused by a chemical reaction occurring inside the cell. The potential difference sets the electrons in motion and results in the flow of electricity through a conducting wire connected to two ends of the cell. As we discussed with the rough diagram, the amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to point B is called electric potential difference between the 2 points. What is the definition for electric potential between 2 points? Whatever amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to point B. It is called as electric potential difference. We can solve this mathematically also. Potential difference between 2 points means whatever work done divided by total charge transferred. So potential difference between 2 points we are representing with voltage, which is V, because we are measuring with the volt, and work is W and Q is charge. So 1 volt is equals to 1 joule and 1 coulomb charge. So the unit of potential difference in SI system is volt. Voltmeter is to measure potential difference. If you want to measure potential difference, we can measure that potential difference with the voltmeter. There is an instrument to measure potential difference, that is voltmeter. This is the diagram for free electrons when atoms in a conducting solid. So free electrons move freely from atom to atom. This is the way electrons moving condition, and this one is the diagram for single atom, and these are the weakly attached outermost electrons. This is not here. Please cancel these two terms and introduction to scientist, and do you know, no need to do this. 25% reduced syllabus. Don't study this part. Free electrons. Every atom of a metallic conductor has one more outermost electrons which are very weakly bound to the nucleus. These are called free electrons. Here in this diagram you can observe free electrons. Every atom has outermost orbit, and in that outermost orbit electrons are revolving in it. So that is very weakly bound with the nucleus. So that is very weakly attached of the outermost orbit, so which we are naming it as freely electrons. And free electrons move freely from atom to atom. These electrons can easily move from one part of conductor to its other parts. The negative charges of the electrons also gets transferred as a result of this motion. The free electrons in a conductor are the carriers of negative charge. Obviously, free electrons has a negative charge. Next topic is current flowing through a wire. As shown in figure, if a conducting wire is not connected to a cell, its free electrons move randomly in all directions in the space between the atoms. Here you can observe these are electrons in a conductor. If current is not flowing in this wire, that means these electrons moves any direction. You can observe here, this is a metal wire. So we are saying it as this diagram, random motion of electrons in the wire. When we connect the two ends of the wire to the terminals of a cell, electric force acts on the electrons. Being negatively charged, they start moving from negative lower potential to the positive higher potential terminal of the cell. Here you can observe in this diagram, if we connect battery to this wire, positive negative terminal, so it starts to move from negative terminals to positive terminals. Due to the flow of these electrons, current starts to flow through the wire. This motion of electrons is irregular, but there is a definite non-zero value to their average velocity. So this is the diagram of the same motion of electrons after applying potential difference to the two ends of the wire. So hence these two diagrams are for motion of free electrons. Next topic is electric current. An electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor. Obviously, what is the meaning of electric current? Flow of electrons in a conductor. As we have seen in this diagram, whatever electrons are flowing with this conductor, that is called as electric current. Quantitatively, current I is defined as charge passing through a conductor in unit time. A charge passing through a conductor in unit time is called as current. If charge Q is flowing through a cross section of conductor in unit time, then current is equals to current, which we are representing with I is equals to Q upon T. Charge flowing through a unit time. Charge flowing through a unit time is known as current I. The unit of charge in SI units is Coulomb. Current is expressed in ampere. The charge of one electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power of minus 19 Coulomb. And if you want to define ampere, 1 ampere current is said to flow in a conductor if 1 Coulomb charges flow through it every second, means 1 second. In 1 second 1 Coulomb charge flows, that means we can say 1 ampere current is that. So 1 ampere current is equals to 1 Coulomb charge upon 1 second time. Cancel this do you know part. No need to do this. Next. Next topic is resistance and Ohm's law. Ohm's law. The relationship between the current flowing through a wire, which is I, and the potential difference across its ends, which is V, can be obtained from the law that was given by German scientist Georg Simon Ohm. This law was given by German scientist Georg Ohm. Which law? The relationship between current and its potential difference. This is discovered by German scientist Georg Ohm. So, if the physical state of a conductor remains constant, the current I flowing through it is directly proportional to potential difference between the 2 points. If current is increases, then obviously its potential difference is also increases. So hence these two are having direct relation. So if mathematical represent we want to show, then that we are showing in this way. I is directly proportional to V. So K is constant of proportionality. So we can write I is equals to KV. K is constant of proportionality. If you want to define this, so I upon K is equals to V. 1 upon K we are representing with R, and R is resistance of the conductor. R is resistance of the conductor. So I multiply by R is equals to V. Hence V is equals to IR. V is equals to IR, or we can write R is equals to V upon I. So this law we can see it as Ohm's law. This relation was discovered by German scientist George Simon Ohm. So hence this law is known as Ohm's law. We can obtain SI unit of resistance from the above formula. Potential difference and current are measured in volts and amperes respectively. Then the unit of resistance is called as Ohm, because obviously it is discovered by scientist Ohm. So its unit is also Ohm, and its symbol we are representing with this way. Ohm. This is the symbol for Ohm. So we can write 1 volt upon 1 ampere is equals to 1 Ohm. If you want to write Ohm, then OHM, and if the symbol you want to write, then symbol is this way. This is the symbol for Ohm. So we can say resistance of 1 ohm in this way. If 1 ampere current flows through a conductor when 1 volt potential difference is applied between the 2 points, then the resistance of the conductor is 1 ohm. Please cancel this part. An introduction to scientists. Don't study this. This is not part of our syllabus for this year. Next topic is resistance and resistivity of a conductor. As we have seen in previous diagram, figure 3.4, the electrons are moving in a conductor. They are constantly in a random motion. When a potential difference is applied between the two ends of the conductor, these electrons start moving from end to higher end to lower potential end. Okay, this direction of motion of electrons causes the flow of current. Moving electrons strike the atoms and ions which lie along their path. Such collision cause hindrance to flow of electrons and oppose the current. This hindrance is called resistance of the conductor. Whatever electrons are flowing in the conductor, they are having one direction, but due to hindrance they are strike on each other. So that comes in a resistance of the conductor. That hindrance is called as resistance of the conductor. Obviously all electrons are flowing through the conductor. They are having a random motion. We cannot say they are flowing with one path only. They are flowing with one path, but 1 or 2 electrons amongst all electrons, 1 or 2 electrons hits on each other, and due to that hindrance is coming, and that hindrance is called as resistance of that conductor. So we can find out its resistivity with the help of resistance. Resistivity is at a given temperature, the resistance R of a conductor depends on its length, area of cross section A, and the material is it made of. What is it? The resistivity, whatever resistivity we have to find. So at a given temperature, the resistance R of a conductor is depend upon length of that conductor and area of cross section, means the thickness of the wire and all. So that resistance is depend on this, or whatever the material we are using for that conductor. So all these things are considering with the help of to find its resistance. Okay. If the resistance of a conductor is R, then R is directly proportional to L. Why? Because if we consider a specific length of a conductor, then it has a resistance. If we increase that length, then obviously its resistance also increases with respect to the length. So hence resistance is directly proportional to its length. If resistance increases, then its length also increases. If length is increases, then resistance also increases. That is why R is directly proportional to L, which is length. And resistance is inversely proportional to its area. Why? If area is increases, then its resistance also increase. If resistance is decreases, if area is decreases, resistance is increasing. So hence they are inversely vary with each other. So if you want to combine these two, L is directly proportional and A is inversely proportional, then you can divide this two, then you will get a combined formula for the same. R is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. So we can write down R is equals to this. We are representing whatever sign is there, which we are calling it as rho into L upon A. This rho is the constant of proportionality and is called as resistivity of that material. The unit of resistivity in SI unit is ohm meter. Resistivity of a specific property of material, and different materials have different resistivity. Obviously resistivity depends upon its material also. So if material gets changes, then its resistivity also changes. This we are naming it as whatever, please call it as RHO, rho. Here in this table you can observe resistivity of different materials. For copper it is 1.7 into 10 raised to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. For nichrome it is 1.1 into 10 raised to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. For diamond it is 1.62 into 10 raised to minus 10 raised to 13 to 1.62 10 raised to 18 ohm meter. This is the resistivity. Unit for resistivity is ohm meter. Unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Next topic is electric current. A continuous path of an electric current through conducting wires connected to the two ends of a cell and other resistances is called an electric circuit. Electric circuit means in this circuit we have to connect lot of things. One is wire, electric cell, and another wire, its resistance also, ammeter, voltmeter, meters are also there. This whole arrangement is known as electrical circuit. So if you want to define electric circuit, then a continuous path of an electric current through conducting wires connected to two ends of a cell, this end and this end, obviously these two ends, with the resistances is called as its electric circuit. This figure shows to us different components are to be connected in the circuit by using special symbols for each component. Such figure is called as an electric circuit diagram. Here in this figure you can observe ammeter is there to measure current, voltmeter is there to measure potential difference between the 2 points, and it has very high resistance. Next is no need to do this observe part. And on page number 36, please cancel the whole page. No need to discuss or no need to study this whole page. Cancel this whole page. This also, try this. No need to study this one. Next topic is conductors and insulator. We have learned about resistance to an electric current. We can divide substances into conductors and insulators. Insulators means bad conductor, in which current cannot flow. Such kind of substance comes in insulators. That we have to see the definition part of the conductors and insulators. First of all, conductors, those substances which have very low resistance are called conductors, and current can flow easily through such materials. Means a material in which current can flow easily and which has very low resistance. Such substances are called as conductors. Exactly opposite of the insulator. It has very high resistance and current cannot flow. Such substances are called as insulators. So insulators meaning those substances which have extremely high resistance and through which current cannot flow are called as insulators. Cancel it out, this, try this part, no need to do this. This also observation chart, no need to do this. Today we will stop this lecture. Write down your homework on page number 33. Please solve this solved example. If you have any problem related these examples, so you can send me the message. Through the message, I can solve your doubt. Please solve this solved example. This comes in your homework. Page number 38. This also is your homework. Example number 1, 2, 3, 4. And example number 5 also. This is your homework. You have to solve all these numericals in your notebook.